Hey everyone, and welcome back to channel. We've got some intriguing news to discuss today. So, let's first take a look at the ONVO booth at the Guangzhou Auto Show. The booth has a strong lineup of ONVO cars and even features a NIO battery swap station. It's pretty exciting and could drive sales momentum for both brands. But let's dive into the real focus here, an official leak concerning the ET9 battery. According to regulatory filings, the ET9 will include a 102 kWh battery option, offering either 620 or 650 kilometers of range under the CLTC standard, depending on the wheel size. Now, this is surprising because NIO CEO initially mentioned a 120 kWh battery pack for this model, but it seems there's also a 102 kWh variant in the mix. Yamoka, a major NIO influencer in China, shared this information, noting that he hopes this doesn't indicate even more battery variants for the ET9. He's also uncertain if an ultra-long-range battery will be available for it. This slight 18 kWh difference between the 102 kWh and 120 kWh batteries doesn't appear significant, raising the question of whether NIO needs this additional battery size at all. This situation also highlights a bigger challenge: the growing number of battery types in NIO battery swap stations. The more battery variants there are, the harder it is to ensure each swap station has the right battery type ready and charged for every NIO model. Take the 150 kWh semi-solid-state battery, for example. While it can greatly extend a vehicle range, it complicates battery swaps due to its limited availability in most swap stations. A quick look at the NIO swap map reveals that only a few stations stock the 150 kWh battery, and the nearest one to Beijing is over 100 kilometers away, which is a major inconvenience. When people use the 150 kWh battery, they benefit from the extended range, but it means sacrificing the convenience of easy swaps, because most swap stations won't have this specific battery type readily available. It's likely that many users will switch to the 150 kWh battery for a long journey, then switch back to a 75 or 100 kWh battery afterward to regain the convenience of the swap service. In remote areas or desert regions with sparse charging infrastructure, the 150 kWh battery range extension is invaluable. But for everyday convenience, it's just not as practical. Adding the ET9 102 and 120 kWh batteries, which are 900 volts, into the mix creates even more complexity. These high-voltage batteries aren't compatible with older NIO vehicles that run on 400 volts. The NT 3.0 platform, however, is designed for 900 volts, meaning NIO newer models will require these high-voltage batteries. And as if that weren't enough, ONVO 60 and 80 kWh battery packs will also enter the swap stations, leading to an even greater assortment of batteries. In practical terms, this means swap stations will house up to 8 battery types soon. The 75 kWh and 100 kWh batteries at 400 volts, ONVO 60 kWh and 80 kWh packs, the ET9 102 kWh and 120 kWh batteries at 900 volts, and the 150 kWh semi-solid-state pack. Managing this diversity of batteries is the biggest logistical challenge NIO faces in its battery swap strategy. Thankfully, NIO is innovating to meet this challenge. Recently patented designs show a multi-bay swap station layout, resembling a multi-level parking structure, that can store more batteries in the future. These advanced stations will likely help NIO achieve its goal of replacing traditional gas stations with swap stations that cater to all battery types. A feasible solution is for certain swap stations to specialize in specific batteries. For instance, one station might hold 4 types, while another nearby station has the remaining types, ensuring that customers have a convenient option regardless of their battery model. This setup would help alleviate the issue of stations running out of specific battery types. However, as the variety of batteries increases, so does the likelihood of stations not having sufficient quantities of certain types. For example, a swap station might have 22 battery slots divided among 4 types, so each battery type could have only 5 or 6 slots, which might not meet demand for each type. This is especially true for earlier models that use 400 volts batteries since there are more owners with these vehicles. So, NIO will likely allocate more of these batteries at swap stations to match demand. Ultimately, introducing a 102 kilowatt-hour battery may not be strictly necessary, especially given the modest 18 kilowatt-hour increase over the 120 kilowatt-hour pack. But it does make sense for NIO to offer upgradable options to give customers more range. The slight difference might not feel like a major advancement, but it does add flexibility. Furthermore, as new NT 3.0 models like the ES8, 3rd Gen ES7, and ET6 are released, it's possible they'll come with a base-level 102 kilowatt-hour battery, so NIO motivation for adding this pack becomes clearer. Yet, the abundance of battery varieties remains a headache. With the 150 kilowatt-hour pack not even available in Beijing, it's frustrating for owners who want to borrow one for a road trip but would have to drive a long way just to pick it up. This variation in battery availability definitely affects the convenience of the swap service. That said, providing a range of batteries for different NIO models follows a logic similar to gas stations carrying multiple fuel types. It's likely that NIO will find a solution to manage this better, perhaps by expanding swap station capacity or adopting multi-bay designs as seen in recent patents. The 5th generation swap stations could potentially hold even more batteries, making them more versatile. The key challenge is ensuring that battery swaps remain feasible, even with all the different battery varieties. NIO will need to carefully manage how many of each battery type are allocated to each station based on the number of compatible vehicles. If the allocation isn't well balanced, some users might frequently find their preferred battery type unavailable. In summary, this leak is fascinating because it sheds light on the complexities NIO faces with its battery swap network. Although we might wish NIO would limit the variety of battery options, the growing number of models and battery capacities makes this an unavoidable evolution in their business. And even though it's a logistical challenge, NIO seems committed to addressing it. Thank you for joining us today. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for more stock predictions and market insights. Remember to turn on the notification bell so you never miss an update. Happy investing, and see you in the next video.